You'll never fit the system, and that's your power. You were never designed to be read, scored, or standardized. The box you've been trying to fit into was never built for a soul like yours. If you feel like you're trapped in a box that you didn't create, it's because you are.
Everything you know is a lie.
Okay, it's not really a lie. That's a bold statement, but it's not the truth.
You want to know how you know that we're living in a simulation is when people spawn out of fucking nowhere. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sometimes I'm just like, is it better to, be asleep and not realize the world that we're living in? Like, not realizing that we live in a matrix.
So we're back for episode 2 of We're Living in a Simulation. You know what else tells me that we're living in a simulation? These big ass expensive car washes.
We're living in a matrix has become a buzz phrase in the spiritual and woke community. Most either don't take it seriously or don't know how it actually applies to their life. And I could just say, if you know, you know, and if you don't, just go watch The Matrix and then this video here. But instead, I want to translate this idea of living in a matrix into something we can all understand and use for our empowerment and self growth. If you ever felt like your mind moves in too many directions, like you're too much or too complicated, this is about why that very complexity is what keeps you free in a system that wants to keep you trapped and under its control. The matrix works by keeping you boxed in, stuck, limited, and trapped. In other words, it acts as a grid to keep you under control. In Seeing Like a State, James C. Scott calls this legibility, which is the process by which officials, government, corporations, schools, and even algorithms take the complexity of real life and flatten it into something standardized and easy to monitor. You are not meant to be legible or read. Your illegibility is not a weakness or a flaw. It's actually a sacred power that you can use to make the system work for you. The moment you start believing that you have to be easily read is the moment that you give yourself away and become a helpless victim of the system. The world gives us templates to live by. For example, if you want to be successful, then you should go to college and get a degree is a systemic template that has been pushed. Now, as humans, we have free will to subscribe to the templates or to opt out to a certain degree, but opting out is not without its consequences. You risk isolation, falling behind, or feeling othered. What we're here to focus on is how building awareness around these templates can be your secret weapon. But this process starts with building awareness of the template that you're subscribed to. This is the process that I personally went through to become the person that I am today. When you build yourself from someone else's template, it's never really yours, which means you are never really your own. Whether it was in my all Black elementary school, next to the projects, my predominantly white middle school in the suburbs, or my dual enrollment college program for talented high schoolers. I was always really good at school. No one ever told me to take school so seriously. But before my personal identity even shaped, I internalized being good in school as being good. It was the constant messages about the importance of doing well, the praise from teachers, and the feeling of being on top that fueled me to keep going. I took the template that the system gave me, do good in school, and I made it who I was. Now, eventually, the template cracked because living inside someone else's system of excellence would never create the space for me to know who I actually was. At some point in our awakening, the template no longer makes sense or feels right. It usually takes a dramatic turn of events or gradual burnout just kicks in, and then we realize we're living in someone else's truth. In college, freedom and burnout from schooling kicked in for me. I decided to let go of the need to be on top. And then I dipped my toes into spirituality, which turned into a spiritual awakening, and my third eye was wide open. I realized that nothing was as it seems. Better yet, I did not have to take anything the way that it was handed to me. I found beauty in religious thought, symbolism, rituals, prayer, mythologies, and tools. All of these aspects of spiritual expression to me were limitless yet deeply connected. And I longed for freedom. So during the pandemic, I started creating on TikTok. I quickly gained momentum, built a following, and opened up an online store. I realized I was creative, and creating was a source of personal freedom. I was not limited to success by the system standards. For you to break out of the system and live in your full creative freedom so that you can live the best life that you can live, you need to take space away from the system's influence and pause. When we position ourselves from a place of observation instead of reactivity, we start to regain our personal power. So, I'm going to walk you through a short guided meditation so that you can reactivate the power right here and right now. So, we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, drop your attention into your jaw, and then your shoulders, and then your belly. Now notice, where have you been flattening yourself to be red? Name it gently. Don't be hard on yourself. Now nourish it. Put your hand to your heart and say, I do not have to make myself readable to be worthy of living an abundant life. Now, navigate. Picture one tiny choice that you'll make today that honors your complexity. See yourself making that choice with full autonomy and commit to making that choice before any external influence makes you choose a different route. This is what it feels like to hear your body first. And when you open your eyes, the world will still try to read you or influence you or correct you. That's how the status quo survives. Your role is to know that your attention is your agency and you have the power to choose where you pour your intention into. Now that I have your presence, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt punished for being too different, too deep, or too much? I have. And I want you to know that it's not a flaw to be different. That's actually your signal. The system wants us contained because it guarantees we will benefit it more than we benefit ourselves. Rules, expectations, and standards are what we call the status quo. When you do not fit the status quo, whether your features are not European, your faith is not Christian, or your income is not salary, you are going to be punished or made to feel othered. As humans, it's natural for us to want to belong, especially when the idea of fitting in is pushed on us from the moment we enter into the school system. I'm here to remind you, you were never meant to be trapped in the system. Your reaction to it, the anger, the distress, the frustration, the confusion, all of those feelings are valid and necessary for your survival. Affirmations have become very popular for people who are looking to upgrade their reality because they allow people to declare a personal truth that exists outside of the system. The most powerful affirmations extend beyond just I am enough or I am worthy. The most powerful affirmations position you as limitless and they open your mental world to truths that the system doesn't hand to you. After writing the essay component to this essay, which is linked in the description, I created an upgraded affirmation to push back against ideologies that the system has forced onto us. I want to share that affirmation with you because it's extremely powerful at shifting your perspective on your place within the system. Here we go. If I am illegible and complex, then my possibilities are infinite. I'll say it again, and I encourage you to repeat it with me or at least write it down. If I am illegible and complex, then my possibilities are infinite. Embracing your complexity is the gateway to an abundant life. I love the business cliche, think outside the box, because in 4 words, it really epitomizes the liberation that comes with leaving the mental containers of systems, rules, and inherited frameworks. Starting today, think outside the box. Step outside the mental box. Activate your creativity. Envision scenarios you have never lived before. Give your subconscious new images to work toward. Life is an infinite potential. Your life is an infinite field of possibilities waiting to be planted. And if you're a Black woman like myself, you already know this in your bones. Maintaining the sacredness of our illegibility has become a shield against extinction. Black women are arguably the most complex social identity on the planet. We are hard to read, hard to understand, and sometimes even hard to relate to. Even with social media filled with imagery powered by Black women, our music, our hair, our bodies, our style, Black womanhood resists legibility. In the very best ways, we are disruptive to the system. We beat the odds and we face things head on. In a way, maintaining the sacredness of our illegibility has become a protective shield against our own extinction. This isn't just identity, it also goes for practice. Creatives feel this too. This same truth applies to creatives. Artists, writers, and visionaries are constantly pushed into neat boxes so that they can be sold, branded, and made marketable. And yet, just like with Black women, what makes creatives powerful is what cannot be flattened or made readable or legible. The complexity, the messiness, the originality, the infinite layers are all what the system can never actually contain. To be illegible as a creative is to be free. To be free is to stay human in a world that would rather turn everything into data points. So, how do we move through a world that profits off simplicity without shrinking? With social media, we have become craftier, more educated, more informed, more empowered, and more connected. Culturally, Black women have worked really hard to prove ourselves worthy in a bigger system that wants to oppress us. We have had great wins, but we are tired and we deserve to rest. With the soft life movement, all women are being called to rest and fight the system through reaping the rewards of our labor, softening our approach to life, and embracing a reality where we don't have to work to win, be comfortable, or even be successful. Creatives are being called in the same way to stop diluting their art for algorithms and to honor the sacred illegibility that makes their work powerful in the first place. Instead of work hard, go hard, grind, we have learned to read the system by balancing softness with our power. This is what I like to call the soft power movement. The soft power movement encourages us to exercise strength without being spectacles to the system. And it also pushes us to strategize our elevation within the system without erasing ourselves. We can't truly escape the system, but we can resist it and start living by our own template. You are not here to be contained, reduced, or read. You are infinite, complex, and sacredly illegible. This is your shield and power that no system can take away from you. If this woke something up in you, protect it. Save this video, comment illegible, and one place that you refuse to flatten yourself this week. Then send this video to a friend who keeps trying to make herself or themselves make sense to the world when they really just need to express their sacred illegibility. You are infinite, complex, and sacredly illegible. If you enjoyed this soulful cultural video essay, make sure you subscribe to my channel where I merge my passion for spirituality, my interest in psychology, and my critical lens of culture to create life changing and soul stirring content. Be sure to check out the written essay component to this video essay in the description below. And I will see you guys on the next video.